It is Sunday, November 12th, 2023. How on earth did this happen? We have 49 more days in 2023. 49, 7 weeks. In 6 weeks, I'll be in California. And it's really hitting home to me about this idea of writing for soul replenishment and healing as I am working on my NaNoWriMo novel, which is basically 5 main characters that are all iterations of me. Me at different times in my life, me in different scenarios, and they are 5 very different people. So interesting to actually take my life, make it into fiction, put these versions of me together, and come to see what they have to teach me. So a few things that I want to throw out on the table for you to consider. It's going to be short tonight. As you can see, maybe or maybe not, you can't tell. I just took a shower. It's been a fabulous weekend, and I want to get to sleep early so that I can start tomorrow strong. So there's a few things for you to consider. One thing is soul replenishment, renewal. Soul replenishment, renewal, and healing cannot happen, or it's not as effective when we attempt to do that soul replenishment on top of a lot of soul clutter, a lot of denial, a lot of those things that come so naturally to people who are hurting. And I've been one who's been working toward healing since probably since I was a toddler, if I'm going to be really honest. Because the first big hurdle that I had in my life was, my conception. But after that, the first main hurdle was when my brother was born with Down syndrome, and as a 13-month-old, my parents kind of, their focus shifted, and that kind of turned into the story of my life. Was not being significant or being important to the family system. And so basically what I did was I learned how to survive by taking care of him and taking care of myself. And pretty much that's been the story of my life ever since. Been really good at what I call rush in and rescue. That's been one of my favorite chapters over and over again. And part of my being where I am today physically is an attempt to retrain myself to not rush in and rescue. I didn't know that was going to come out. But so what I wanted to suggest was, okay, so today, if you follow astrology, you might know that today is a new moon. And new moons are a great time to set intentions. And we just went through 11/11, November 11th, which some people see as a portal. And so what I like to do is use those dates and times as ways to heal, as ways to reflect, and as ways to kind of set a new path for myself. Now, one of the things to think about too is that we have 49 more days in this year. So in 49 days, it'll be a new year. A lot of people will be starting on goals and stuff for the next year. And I would like to encourage you to take the next 49 days to declutter your emotions, not your emotions, because your emotions are declutter the stuff you've made your emotions mean. Perhaps this is something that I will do alongside my belonging project. I'm doing 100 days of belonging, been studying belonging for the last 7 weeks. Actually, I think I started it like on day 3 or something like that. But I was studying belonging mostly because I have felt such a lack of belonging over my years. And if you heard my story at the beginning, you see how those pieces fit together. But if we use writing See, writing is a great tool because when we write, we're expressing ourselves. When we write, we're taking the gunk inside of our bodies and we're like going, okay, gunk, here, come on out, let me express. And then we're putting it where we can see it and where we can work with it. And I know for some people, they don't want to see it. They think they don't want to work with it because it's too hard and it's too painful. And I would like to suggest and invite you in the next week to try it, even if you just write one sentence a day. If you write one sentence a day, at the end you'll have a paragraph or two that you can begin to work with. And in fact, this is just me improvising, by the way, because I hadn't thought to say this, but maybe a good place to start is with couplet writing. I will write something about this on Writing Camp, JJS Writing Camp, and also in the Let Our Words Flow community, because I've written about it before a long time ago. Couplet writing is when you say things like, I want, I don't want. I want, I don't want. I want, and like you'll say, and I'm just going to riff. Let's see, what's something I want. I want to have a really great end of the year trip to California. I don't want to get stuck in other people's arguments. I want to have meaningful visits with many of the people that I love, some of whom may watch this video. I don't want to get tangled up in old stories. I do want to be very intentional with seeing certain people that are important to me who I don't see as often. I'm thinking about my godson right there. I really want to spend time with him. I don't want to be a burden with making demands, or if things don't work out, being disappointed. I don't want to be disappointed if things don't work out as I plan or as I hope. I do want to have a good attitude throughout, even if I am disappointed. I don't want to fall into old patterns of behavior with the people in my life. I do want to feel good about myself. I don't want to destroy my whole belonging project by not including and belonging alongside other people. I do want to lay a foundation for a trip that I'll be taking in the summer back to Bakersfield. I do want to make a foundation for some activities there this summer because I want to do some business stuff back there. I don't, again, want to be disappointed. I don't want to be attached to outcomes. I do want to laugh. I don't want to be uncomfortable with showing my true emotions. Okay, so that's couplet. I do want, I don't want. I do want, I don't want. I do want, and at the end, like I do with all my writing, is we end with gratitude. So I'm grateful that I took the time to explore some of this. I am grateful that I am willing to make mistakes and have things turn out fuzzy. And I am grateful to know that Mary Fran's out there. Hi, Mary Fran. So that might be a good place to start, that when we're writing for soul replenishment and healing, that even if we just start with one sentence or two sentences, we will be better off than if we don't write at all. Because if we get stuck behind reasons why we can't do it, instead of simply writing a sentence or two, your pile of stuff will just keep getting higher and higher and higher, and you'll never be able to clear it away in this lifetime anyway. So what I'll close with was one of the things I did for soul replenishment, this is totally by accident, by the way, was I wrote a thank you note to my mom. My mom died in August, as most of you know. This reminds me to tell you something else in relationship to that. But I wrote a thank you note, and there was a challenge with some ladies I'm working with on Instagram, and the theme was gratitude, and one of the sub prompts was write a thank you note, or it didn't say write a thank you note, but unspoken thanks. So I wrote a thank you note to my mom. And it was very from the heart, and no proofreading, no thought, no forethought. It was free written, blah, blah, blah. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. A little bit, tiny bit of editing, and sent it out on my Instagram account, which also goes to the writing camp page. It's gotten a lot of really great feedback. And I'm so glad that I did that. So much so that I want to do the same thing for my dad when his birthday comes up. But what I wanted to say in relationship to my mother's death in August is I'm planning on going to a support group tomorrow night on the 13th, a grief support group. And what's so funny is today, as I was doing some shopping, because it's Sunday, tomorrow I go back to work. I usually do a little bit of shopping on Sunday. And even though I don't like shopping, as I was walking in, I was thinking about a friend of mine whose mom passed away more recently than my mom. And I said, maybe I'll invite her. And I went on this whole long litany of reasons why I wouldn't invite her. And then I thought to myself, you know, Julie, you're doing really great right now. Why are you going to a grief support group when you're doing so well about your mom's death? And I realized the reason I'm going is just because if I'm doing great today, things are going fine today, I'm feeling good today, doesn't mean that on Wednesday I'll feel like crap. And I don't know how I'll feel. When I was dealing with severe, I had PTSD. I'm thinking about when I had my life threatened by a couple of my clients at mental health, and I went on a stress leave. And the PTSD was really bad. But I remember that I had been wanting to go see a psychiatrist for a long time. But every time I had an appointment, I made an excuse to not go because I was feeling good for that 30 seconds or whatever. It's the same thing with soul replenishment. Just because you're feeling good for a stretch doesn't mean that there isn't good creative work to be done. Some of us, I know myself, sometimes I think I think work is a bad name. I give work a bad rap. So maybe if you're one of those people, you could say create instead of work. Collaborate with the divine instead of work. And, you know, Khalil Gibran said, work is love made visible. So that's kind of what I'm thinking when we say work. And I was talking about the work that I've done with therapists over the years. And I said recently, I think yesterday, I've done a lot of really good, hard work. And ironically, I'm starting with another therapist on Tuesday due to mom's death again. That's kind of the precipitating incident. And I was laughing because I called the therapist Kaiser Light, even though I've only talked to her one time before. And I'm not expecting to have any huge breakthroughs thanks to the therapist, but it's better than nothing. I have somebody I can talk to every week for the next, I think it's a 3-month thing, 12-week thing. So for 12 weeks, I will be therapized, and I will learn no matter what. I will learn and grow from it. And I'm sure it will show up in my writing somehow, somewhere. Probably, maybe even my novel. I think I'll put one of my characters will go to therapy. And you all will know it's actually me. So anyway, or a fictionalized version of me. So the last thing I was going to say, and I totally forgot, of course, because I didn't even write an outline today. There's no fancy slides today, none of that wonderfulness we often do. Don't even have prompts for you. I'm hoping that you'll just kind of pick stuff out of this, but do a couplet. That's kind of a prompt. Is in the 49 more days we have, one of the things y'all know if you've known me for longer than 30 seconds, that I believe in the power of recapping. So one of the things that I do is I recap, and I keep running lists of top five this and top 5 that, like the top 5 novels of the year I read, the top 5 movies I've seen. I've only seen 3 movies, so they're all in the top 5. The top, 3 days of the year. I actually have this list that I started last January. I think it's really important that we pay attention to our lives. so that we can pull up these things. Just like having gratitude lists is so great. If you haven't done any of these lists, if you look at your back at your gratitude lists, your best will be right there. So maybe for you, the job will be to look back at your gratitude lists and glean from there what some of your bests were. If you can remember your bests, that will definitely help with building that strong foundation for your ongoing soul replenishment. The hardest for me is books because I've read so many great books this year. And I will be publishing that sometime in December. So anyway, thank you for being here. I'm sorry I'm not as polished as normal. It has just been such a great weekend that I haven't had desk time. And during the week, I was so busy working on my novel that I didn't promote. And if I don't promote, then I usually don't get all the graphics done that I like to share and all the prompts that I like to share. But if you're in the Let Our Words Flow creative community, you know we have a huge catalog of prompts if you want to grab one. But for right now, I'll say I want, I don't want. And I'll put something in this group, Let Our Words Flow, and also, thanks, Mary Fran. Yeah, Julie as is. Julie as is. That's me. It's actually me, even when I'm polished, I'm Julie as is. But yeah, I just don't have the energy. So thank you, Mary Fran, for reflecting that to me. Julie as is lost her train of thought. But yes, writing in couplets will help you. No matter what stage of life you're in, no matter whether you are on the top of the world, or if you are bored with life, or if you're truly excited about life, or if you're, just getting by with life, whatever it is you're doing. Writing in couplets, I want, I don't want, I like, I don't like, I understand, I don't understand, I hope, I don't hope, I love, I don't love, I tolerate, I don't tolerate, I look forward to, I don't look forward to. All of those are couplets. You can choose one of those and run with it, write with it this week. And build your soul replenishing writing on those foundations. Okay. Now I'm going to go upstairs, snuggle under my lovely new flannel sheets, and get some rest, read some books. I have one book I need to finish, another one I need to start. But no matter what, I'll be turning out the light at 10. So thank you so much. I'm so glad you were here. I'm so glad you're on the replay. Take good care, and I'll be here next Sunday, as is, whether that means polished or flying by the seat of my pants. It's going to be a great Sunday next week. I'll have a lot of fun things to report. Looking at this week ahead, there's a lot of great stuff coming up, a lot of growth work happening. In fact, all the rest of November has some really great growth happening. Take good care, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.